Sunday morning breaks with a silence that doesn't last long. Within minutes, social media erupts. Timelines flooded, group chats exploding, headlines flashing across screens. 500 Republicans found on Epstein List, released Sunday. The world stops to read. Shock turns to disbelief. Disbelief turns to outrage. This isn't just another political rumor. It's a revelation that hits the very core of Washington's power circle. 500 names, all allegedly tied to the most infamous scandal of the century. Commentators call it the Sunday shockwave, a moment that could reshape American politics overnight. In newsrooms across the country, editors scramble for confirmation, fact-checkers race against time, and politicians, usually loud, go suddenly, eerily quiet. One question echoes louder than the rest. Who's on the list? And then, like lightning cutting through the noise, one name stands out above all others: Donald Trump. Screens freeze, voices hush. Supporters rush to defend, critics sharpen their knives. In a single morning, the headlines shift from speculation to chaos. What started as a leak has now become a political earthquake, and the aftershocks are just beginning. As the news spreads, the atmosphere turns electric. Reporters crowd outside Trump's Florida estate, cameras rolling, waiting for a reaction. Every major outlet is asking the same burning question. Was Donald Trump really connected to Jeffrey Epstein's circle? Trump's team moves fast, scrambling to contain the storm. His advisors urge restraint. Let it cool down. Don't take the bait. But Trump isn't one to stay silent. Within hours, he's in front of the cameras, jaw set, eyes blazing. He calls the report fake, completely fake, another witch hunt, the biggest lie since Russia. The crowd of supporters erupts in applause, but even they can sense something different this time. The air feels heavier, the stakes higher. Inside campaign headquarters, tension boils. Some aides whisper that this could derail everything. Others say it's just another political hit job. Trump, pacing the room, slams his hand on the table. They're scared because I know too much about them. The line hangs in the air, part defiance, part warning. Meanwhile, the press digs deeper. Old photos resurface. Charity galas, private flights, mutual acquaintances. None of it proves guilt, but it paints a picture that refuses to fade. Commentators replay the same clips, frame by frame, each one asking, what did Trump really know about Epstein? And when? For Trump, this isn't just about denial. It's about dominance. Every accusation becomes fuel for his fight. He turns the spotlight into a weapon, declaring himself the victim of another political smear. Yet, behind the cameras, even his closest allies begin to wonder, is there more to the story than anyone's admitting? The Trump question has now become more than a headline. It's a test of loyalty, truth, and power. And no one, not even Trump himself, knows where it will lead next. By nightfall, Washington is in absolute chaos. The list has spread everywhere. News sites, encrypted chats, late-night broadcasts. What began as a quiet Sunday leak has exploded into a full-blown political crisis. 500 Republican names, all linked to Epstein's shadowy world. Senators, governors, donors, strategists, no one is safe from speculation. Every office on Capitol Hill is buzzing, every aide on edge. The air feels thick with panic. Inside Republican headquarters, phones ring non-stop. Staffers whisper about resignations, deleted files, and frantic legal calls. Some names are already being scrubbed from websites, others issuing vague, no-comment statements. But the silence says more than any denial ever could. The party that once prided itself on control now looks cornered, fractured from within. And at the center of it all stands Donald Trump. Cameras flash as he walks into a hastily arranged press conference. The crowd leans forward, waiting to see if he'll finally address the rumors. His voice cuts through the noise, calm at first, then rising. If they're coming for me because I told the truth about them, then let them come. The statement detonates across social media. Supporters call him fearless. Critics call it a confession in disguise. Within minutes, hashtags trend worldwide. Hashtag Epstein List, hashtag Trump responds, hashtag political purge. The entire political landscape begins to shake. Behind closed doors, GOP leaders argue about strategy. Some demand distance from Trump to save the party's image. Others insist they close ranks, that abandoning him now would be suicide. The divide grows deeper by the hour. Meanwhile, the Justice Department quietly releases a statement. Ongoing investigations are being reviewed. That one line sends shivers through Washington. Suddenly, this isn't just about public perception, it's about survival. The fallout is no longer political, it's personal. Reputations are burning, alliances crumbling, and careers ending in real time. And as Trump watches it all unfold, one thing becomes clear. This war has only just begun. As the shockwave settles, a new phase begins, the investigation. Behind the closed doors of federal offices and newsrooms, files are being opened, calls are being traced, and questions are being asked that no one wants to answer. The Epstein List isn't just gossip anymore, it's evidence. Investigative journalists dig into every corner of the documents, flight logs, hotel records, visitor entries. Each new discovery adds another layer of unease. Some names were expected, others completely shocking. Donors, CEOs, political consultants, even people tied to international governments. Every new detail turns the story darker. Whispers begin to spread that the list didn't come from a random leak at all, but from sealed court records, recently unsealed by a federal judge. If true, that means everything on it has been verified. Every name, every timestamp, every trip. Suddenly, the political world realizes this might not be about rumor, it could be about proof. Inside the FBI, sources claim task forces are reactivated. Investigators cross-referencing bank transfers, private flight manifests, and archived communications between Epstein's associates. Even the smallest connection is being tracked. And when one of those names overlaps with Mar-a-Lago guest records, the story takes a new turn. Trump's inner circle scrambles. Lawyers hold emergency meetings trying to anticipate the next headline. Advisors warn that the next round of revelations could be worse, that there are still more documents waiting to drop. Meanwhile, social media explodes with theories. Who knew what, and who helped hide it? Late one night, a reporter leaks a chilling line from an unnamed investigator. This isn't a list, it's a map, and we're only halfway through it. The word sends shockwaves once again through Washington. The narrative shifts from scandal to something far more dangerous: exposure. No one knows how deep it goes or who's still hiding in the shadows. But one thing's clear. The Epstein investigation is no longer about one man's crimes. It's about the network that kept them hidden and the powerful people who might now be paying the price. By Sunday night, the world feels different. The Epstein revelations have already rocked Washington, but what happens next takes everything to another level. As the investigation deepens and names continue to surface, Donald Trump breaks his silence once more. Not through the press, not on television, but through his own platform, Truth Social. The post goes live at 9:47 p.m. Within seconds, screenshots flood the internet. Trump writes, "They want to destroy America by destroying me. But I'm not afraid of their lies because I know exactly who was on that island." The words explode like dynamite. Every network cuts to breaking news. Commentators argue, analysts speculate. Some say it's Trump's boldest stand yet. Others call it an indirect threat. But one thing is clear. He's not backing down. His post ignites a movement overnight. Supporters flood the streets with signs reading, "We stand with Trump," and "Expose the real list." On social media, thousands echo his message, claiming he's being targeted for knowing too much. Hashtags trend worldwide. Hashtag Epstein Files, hashtag Trump knows, hashtag Deep State cover-ups. But inside Washington, fear starts to spread like wildfire. High-ranking officials, once confident and untouchable, begin to go silent. Lawyers advise them to prepare for subpoenas. Some deactivate their accounts. Others suddenly announce family emergencies. Everyone knows what's coming. Another document drop, another round of names. Meanwhile, Trump's campaign team sees an opportunity. They frame the moment as a war, not just against him, but against corruption itself. He's not just defending himself, he's taking on the entire system. The message lands, loud, emotional, and unstoppable. Still, behind the bravado, there's tension. Private meetings grow heated. Advisors warn that his defiance could backfire if new evidence surfaces. But Trump doesn't flinch. They've been trying to bury me for years. Now it's their turn. The country is split down the middle, half demanding justice, half demanding truth. And as the world watches, one thing becomes certain. This is no longer a scandal, it's a reckoning. The turning point has arrived. And from this moment on, nothing in American politics will ever be the same again. As midnight approaches, the noise begins to fade, but the tension doesn't. The headlines slow, the hashtags cool, yet the unease lingers in every corner of the nation. What began as a leak has now become a storm that refuses to pass. 500 names, each one a question mark hanging over the halls of power. But amid all the chaos, one mystery remains louder than the rest. What did Donald Trump really know? Journalists keep digging, investigators keep searching, and the public keeps asking, how far does this go, and who's still hiding in the shadows? Each document released only deepens the mystery. Every unanswered question opens a new door. The truth, it seems, is no longer about one man or one scandal. It's about the entire system built to protect them. Trump, as always, remains defiant. His supporters call him the last man standing against corruption. His critics insist he's part of the same machine he claims to fight. Both sides can't be right, but both can't be wrong either. Somewhere between the outrage and the loyalty lies the story that no one's fully telling. As the cameras turn off and the headlines move on, that question still echoes. Was Trump a victim of the system or one of its architects? The Epstein List may have exposed hundreds, but it also exposed something deeper, the cracks in America's illusion of justice.